Hey everyone, this is Rowdy's vlog of Animation Bliss, and welcome to the underrated and obscure animated cartoons corner. Today's underrated cartoon that I'm going to talk about today is the Swan Princess. I know this tape looks very old. I had this tape since it first came out, which was 1994. So of course it looks pretty old. But yeah, let's review the Swan Princess. The Swan Princess was an animated movie that came out in 1994, and it was basically similar to all the Disney animated films that came out during that time. As in, they have their princess and their princess, and then they have the comedic sidekicks, and then there's the story of true love always wins the day. So this movie does have all that. So let's talk about the summary of this movie. So basically what this movie is all about is that it starts off with Odette and Prince Derek first meeting each other when they were kids. And at first they hated each other and they didn't want to get married to each other. But when they became adults, they decided to get married. And just as Derek was about to propose to Odette, Odette asked Derek, why do you love me? And Derek was like saying, well, what else should I love you for? Like, all Derek told Odette was like, I love you because you're beautiful and you're witch and stuff like that. And Odette was like, well, what else about me did you love? And Derek was like, what else is there? And that caused Odette to call off the wedding. And after that happened, Odette ends up getting captured by Rothbard, who was this evil magician at the beginning of the film who wanted revenge on King William for turning him out of the kingdom. And he ends up kidnapping Odette so he can force Odette to become his wife so he could take over King William's kingdom. And so when Derek finds out about this, that Odette was kidnapped by Rothbard, he decides to go after Odette and save her. And at the same time, Odette ends up getting turned into a swan by Rothbard, so that way she couldn't escape from Rothbard if somebody happened to come and try to rescue Odette. So that's basically the gist of the movie so far. So what are my thoughts about this movie? I honestly enjoy this movie. Like, I thought it was one of the better works for any non-Disney animated film. Sure, there's a lot of musicals in the film, and there's the comedic sidekicks that Odette has that are pretty much throughout the film. But at the same time, this movie is like its own style. Like it's a lot more modern day than it's a lot more modern in tone than a lot of the Disney films were back in that time. Like, a lot of the Disney films at that time, why they have their moments where they're just as modern day as the current times. They're a little more classic in feel, and that was something I do like about the Disney films at that time. I like the classic feel, and I think that the Swan Princess does have moments of that, but it also tries to be its own thing by being a little more modern. It has more elements where it takes place in the modern day. So this was something I liked about this movie, was that it was trying to be its own thing while it's still trying to get off on the Disney princess train with having the comedic sidekicks, being a musical, but still trying to get its own message across. I really enjoyed the characters. Like, I like Odette as a character. I like the fact that she was trying to figure out whether or not Derek loved her or not. And I know some people look at that and be like, well, Odette, why would you ask Derek whether or not he loves you or not? Why not just marry him? And I'm like, well, I think that was a good way for Odette's character to be developed. Like, I think that gave Odette a lot more depth to her character when she asked Derek, why do you love me besides the fact that I'm beautiful, but besides the fact that I'm rich? Like, if I decide to get married someday, I would want to know if my husband loves me for who I am and not for how rich I am or for my appearance. I want to know if he loves me for myself. And I like the fact that that's what Odette was looking for. She wanted to see if Derek really loved her for herself and not for the fact that she's rich and she's beautiful. So that's what I liked about Odette's character, is the fact that she's able to tell Derek, just let me know why you love me besides the fact that I'm beautiful or I'm rich, because I want to know if you really love me for myself all besides how I look like and for how rich I am. And I also like Derek's character arc. Like, it shows that Derek at first was kind of, I guess, shallow about how he felt about Odette. or at least he had a hard time admitting to Odette how he felt about her. And then as the film progresses, he starts to realize, how much he really loves her by trying to rescue her. So that shows a lot for Derek's character, that he knows that, he doesn't just love Odette for her looks and for her riches, but he also loves her for herself and how brave she is. And that was something I really liked about the movie, is Derek's character development throughout the film also. I also like the animal sidekicks that Odette has, like Puffin and John Bob and Speedy. I really like the three of them. Like my favorite was probably Speedy and John Bob. I really like Speedy the turtle because he's like the deadpan snarker of the group. He snarks a lot, and that brings a lot of comedy to the movie. And I also like John Bob because he's like the funniest character ever. He's like arrogant, as he wants to get Odette to kiss him a lot, but at the same time he's willing to help Odette try to find her true love in Derek. So I really like the three animal sidekicks in the film because they really try to help Odette the best way they can while providing lots of humor for the film. And I also like the villain Rothbard. Like he's evil to he's like bad to the bone, but he's also in a way charming or dangerously charming, and he's smart enough to know that Derek is going to go after Odette, so he tries to do everything he can to make sure Derek and Odette don't get back together again, which would cause him to lose his chance to get the kingdom from Odette if Derek happens to find her. So I really like Rothbard's villainy in this film, as it brings a lot of tension to the film, but it also brings humor because he's one of those villains who's like charming and while being menacing at the same time, and I really like that. So I think all the characters in the Swan Princess were very well done. I also like the songs in this film. Like I think the songs were really good, just on par with a lot of Disney films that came out at the time. Like probably my favorite song was at the beginning where they were when Odette and Derek was singing to each other about how they hated each other when they were kids, and then they got older and they started falling in love. It's like one of the best opening theme songs I ever seen. So that's one of my favorite songs, was the opening theme song dealing with Odette and Derek getting together when they got older. So I think a lot of the songs in this movie really done the film justice. Um, so I would say I recommend this film to anybody who's a huge fan of non-Disney films that also have musicals, but also try to be its own thing at the same time. And I think it's one of the better films that really knows how to balance between humor and drama. And I think it's a film that everybody should check out once in a while. Well, that's my review on The Swan Princess. And be sure to follow us on Tumblr, and to also like our Facebook page. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Ravity's Vlog of Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later.